I opened the front door, and immediately, I sensed something was wrong. The house was too quiet for a typical evening. Shedding my coat and placing my briefcase down, I headed towards the living room. What I saw made my heart stop. My wife, Rachel, was in the arms of another man, our mutual acquaintance and her colleague, Mark. The scene before my eyes shattered my world into pieces, and I knew our lives would never be the same again. I stood frozen, unable to process the betrayal unfolding before me. Rachel looked up, her face a mixture of shock and guilt, while Mark quickly disentangled himself from her. "Jack, this isn't what it looks like," she stammered, but her words were hollow. "What the hell is going on?" I demanded, my voice trembling with a mix of anger and heartbreak. Rachel stood up, her eyes pleading. "Jack, please let me explain, it's not what you think." "Then what is it, Rachel?" "Because it looks exactly like what I think it is," I retorted, my hands balling into fists at my sides. Mark, clearly uncomfortable, mumbled something about needing to leave and awkwardly shuffled towards the door. Rachel made no move to stop him, and I couldn't decide if that made things better or worse. Once he was gone, the silence between us was deafening. I took a deep breath, trying to steady myself. "How long?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Rachel's eyes filled with tears. "Jack, please, let's sit down and talk about this." "How long, Rachel?" I repeated, louder this time. She wiped a tear from her cheek and finally answered, "A few months. It started a few months ago." The weight of her words crashed down on me and I sank onto the couch. My mind was racing, trying to reconcile the woman I loved with the one standing before me, admitting to an affair. We sat in silence for what felt like an eternity before Rachel spoke again. "It happened because of work. Mark and I have been working closely on a project and it just happened." I laughed bitterly. "It just happened? You make it sound like you tripped and fell into an affair. That's not how it works, Rachel." She looked down, unable to meet my gaze. "I know I've hurt you, Jack, and I know saying sorry isn't enough. I don't know what to do." I shook my head, trying to process everything. "I need some time to think," I said, finally standing up. "I can't deal with this right now." Rachel nodded, tears streaming down her face. "Take all the time you need. I'm so sorry." I grabbed my coat and headed out the door, not knowing where I was going, just knowing I needed to get away. As I drove aimlessly through the city, memories of our life together flashed before my eyes. Our college days, our wedding, the dreams we had for our future. All of it now tainted by her betrayal. Eventually, I found myself parked outside my friend Mike's house. He opened the door, taking one look at my face before pulling me into a hug. "Come in, man. Whatever it is, we'll figure it out." As I stepped inside, I realized that figuring it out was the only option I had left. Rachel's affair had destroyed the life we had built, and now I had to find a way to pick up the pieces and start anew. The days following Rachel's confession were a blur. I crashed on Mike's couch, trying to make sense of the chaos that had become my life. Mike was a good friend, giving me space when I needed it and offering a listening ear when I was ready to talk. But no matter how much I tried to distract myself, my mind kept drifting back to Rachel and Mark. One evening, as we sat on Mike's porch with beers in hand, he finally broke the silence. "Jack, you've got to figure out what you want to do next. You can't stay here forever." He was right. I couldn't hide from my problems. "I know," I sighed. "I just don't know where to start." Mike leaned back in his chair, staring up at the stars. "Maybe you should start with understanding why this happened. Talk to Rachel. Really talk to her." The thought of facing Rachel again filled me with dread, but I knew Mike was right. I needed answers. I needed closure. The next day, I called Rachel and arranged to meet at a nearby park. As I waited on a bench, I watched families and couples enjoying the summer day. It felt surreal, like I was watching a life that was no longer mine. Rachel arrived, looking pale and tired. She sat down next to me, and for a moment, neither of us spoke. Finally, I broke the silence. "Rachel, I need to understand. How did we get here?" She took a deep breath, her eyes fixed on the ground. "Jack, I know you're hurting, and I don't have all the answers, but I'll try to explain." She began to talk about her work, how demanding it had become, and how she felt overwhelmed and isolated. "I was spending so much time at the lab, and Mark was there. He understood the pressure I was under because he was going through the same thing. We started talking more, leaning on each other, and then one night it went too far. I listened, trying to keep my emotions in check. Why didn't you come to me, Rachel? I'm your husband. We're supposed to face these things together. Her eyes finally met mine, filled with regret. I didn't want to burden you. You have your own work, your own stresses, and I guess I was afraid you wouldn't understand. Not understand? I shook my head. We've been through so much together, Rachel. How could you think I wouldn't understand? She wiped away a tear. I know it sounds crazy. I don't have a good excuse, Jack. I made a terrible mistake and now we're both paying for it. I looked at her, the woman I had loved for so long, and felt a pang of sorrow. So what now, Rachel? Where do we go from here? She sighed, her shoulders slumping. I don't know. I want to make things right, but I don't know if that's possible. I don't expect you to forgive me, but I hope we can find a way to move forward, whatever that looks like. We sat in silence, the weight of her words hanging in the air. I didn't have an answer either. The future seemed uncertain, a path shrouded in fog. I need more time, I said finally. I don't know what I want yet, but I need to figure it out. Rachel nodded. Take all the time you need, Jack. I'll be here, whatever you decide. As I walked away from the park, I realized that my journey was just beginning. I had to navigate through the pain, the betrayal, and the confusion to find a way forward. It wouldn't be easy, but I knew I couldn't let this define the rest of my life. For now, I would focus on healing, one day at a time. The road ahead was long, but I was determined to find my way, even if it meant starting over from scratch. A few weeks passed since my conversation with Rachel in the park. I remained at Mike's place, trying to establish a semblance of normalcy in my disrupted life. The pain of betrayal still lingered, but the initial shock had worn off, replaced by a dull ache that was easier to manage. I decided to throw myself into work. As a software engineer, I found solace in the logic and predictability of code. It was a welcome escape from the emotional turmoil that my personal life had become. Late nights at the office kept my mind occupied, and for a while, it seemed to work. One evening, as I was about to leave the office, my phone buzzed with a text from Rachel. Can we meet? There's something I need to tell you. A knot formed in my stomach. I hesitated before replying, finally agreeing to meet her at a quiet cafe we used to frequent. When I arrived, Rachel was already there, nervously stirring her coffee. She looked up as I approached, giving me a tentative smile. Jack, thank you for coming, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. I nodded, sitting down across from her. What's going on, Rachel? She took a deep breath, her hands trembling slightly. I've decided to leave the lab. I've been offered a position at another research facility, out of state. I think a change of scenery will do me good. I was taken aback. Leave the lab? But your work. I know, she interrupted. It's not an easy decision, but I think it's for the best, for both of us. I need a fresh start, and I think you do too. The weight of her words settled over me. A fresh start. Maybe that was exactly what we needed. When do you leave? I asked. Next month, she replied. I wanted to give us time to wrap things up here, to talk about what happens next. I looked at her, seeing the sadness and resolve in her eyes. I appreciate you telling me, Rachel. I think a fresh start could be good for you, for both of us. She smiled faintly. Thank you, Jack. I know I've hurt you, and I don't expect forgiveness, but I hope you can find happiness again. We sat in silence for a while, each lost in our own thoughts. Eventually, Rachel reached across the table, placing her hand over mine. No matter what happens, Jack, I'll always cherish the time we had together. You were my best friend, and I'll never forget that. I squeezed her hand, feeling a mix of emotions. Me too, Rachel. I hope you find what you're looking for. As we parted ways, I felt a sense of closure. Rachel was moving on, and it was time for me to do the same. That night, I returned to Mike's place with a renewed sense of purpose. I knew the road ahead wouldn't be easy, but I was ready to take the first steps toward rebuilding my life. The next morning, I woke up early and went for a run. The cool air filled my lungs, and as my feet pounded the pavement, I felt a surge of determination. I wasn't going to let this define me. I had a life to live, dreams to pursue, and a future to build. Over the next few weeks, I focused on myself. I reconnected with old friends, started attending therapy sessions, and even picked up a new hobby, photography. Capturing the world through a lens gave me a new perspective, and I found beauty in the everyday moments I had once taken for granted. One evening, as I was editing photos at a local coffee shop, a woman approached me. She had a warm smile and a curious glint in her eye. "Those are beautiful pictures," she said, nodding towards my laptop. "Thank you," I replied, surprised by her compliment. "I'm Anna," she introduced herself, extending a hand. "I'm a graphic designer. Mind if I join you?" "Not at all," I said, smiling back. "I'm Jack." As we chatted, I felt a spark of something I hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. Anna was vibrant and kind, and our conversation flowed effortlessly. For the first time since the breakup, I felt a genuine connection. When we parted ways, she handed me her business card. "Give me a call sometime, Jack. I'd love to see more of your work." As I walked back to my car, I couldn't help but smile. The road to recovery was long, but I was finally moving forward. Step by step, I was reclaiming my life, and I knew that whatever the future held, I was ready to face it head on. Meeting Anna sparked something in me I thought had been extinguished, a sense of excitement about the future. Over the following days, I found myself thinking about her often. Her warmth and genuine interest in my photography were refreshing. For the first time in months, I felt a flicker of happiness. One evening, as I reviewed some of my recent photos, I decided to call Anna. Her cheerful voice on the other end of the line immediately lifted my spirits. We arranged to meet at a local park for a walk and to discuss photography and design. When we met, the conversation flowed naturally. Anna's enthusiasm for her work was infectious, and I found myself opening up about my experiences, both personal and professional. We talked about our favorite projects, shared stories about our lives, and laughed over coffee at a nearby cafe. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, I realized how much I enjoyed Anna's company. She had a way of making me feel at ease, and I found myself smiling more than I had in a long time. "Jack, I have an idea," Anna said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "How about we collaborate on a project? Your photography and my design skills could create something amazing." The idea intrigued me. "I'd love that, Anna. What do you have in mind?" She explained her vision of creating a photo book that combined my images with her design elements, telling a story through visuals and text. The project sounded challenging, yet incredibly rewarding. I agreed, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. Over the next few weeks, Anna and I spent a lot of time together, working on the photo book. Our creative collaboration blossomed into a deep friendship. We shared more about our lives, and I found myself opening up about Rachel and the pain of our separation. "Jack, I can't imagine how hard that must have been for you," Anna said one evening as we worked late at her studio. "But I'm glad you're finding your way through it." "Thanks, Anna. Meeting you has been a big part of that," I admitted, feeling a warmth spread through me at her supportive words. Our project progressed beautifully. We decided to call the photo book Journeys of the Heart, a title that felt fitting given our personal journeys. Working on the book allowed me to channel my emotions into something creative and meaningful. As our professional relationship deepened, so did our personal connection. One night, after a particularly productive session, Anna and I decided to take a break and walk along the beach. The moonlight reflected off the water, creating a serene atmosphere. "Jack, there's something I need to tell you," Anna said, stopping to face me. "I've really enjoyed getting to know you, and I think there's something special between us." My heart raced. I had felt it too, but hearing her say it made it real. "I feel the same way, Anna. You've brought so much light into my life." She smiled, her eyes shining with emotion. "I don't want to rush things, but I'd like to see where this goes. What do you think?" I reached out and took her hand. "I'd like that too, Anna. Let's take it one step at a time." From that moment, our relationship shifted from friendship to something more. We continued working on the photo book, but now there was a new layer to our connection. Our late-night talks grew longer, our laughter more frequent, and the chemistry between us undeniable. As the release date for Journeys of the Heart approached, we decided to host a small exhibition at a local gallery. The event was a celebration of our hard work and the beginning of a new chapter in both our lives. On the night of the exhibition, I stood beside Anna, looking at the photos and designs we had created together. The room was filled with friends, colleagues, and art enthusiasts, all admiring our work. "I'm proud of us, Jack," Anna said, squeezing my hand. "We did something beautiful." I looked into her eyes, feeling a deep sense of gratitude and affection. "We did, Anna, and I'm grateful for every moment." As the evening drew to a close, I realized that the pain of the past was finally fading, replaced by the promise of a brighter future. Anna and I had found each other through our shared passions, and together we were ready to face whatever came next. The journey of the heart is never easy, but it's the unexpected connections and new beginnings that make it all worthwhile. And with Anna by my side, I knew that my heart was on the right path once again. The exhibition for Journeys of the Heart was a resounding success. Friends, family, and even strangers came together to admire our work, offering praise and encouragement. The positive response was overwhelming, and it was clear that our collaboration had struck a chord with many. Anna and I decided to celebrate by taking a weekend trip to the countryside. We needed a break from the hustle and bustle, and the idea of spending time in nature, away from everything, was appealing. We packed our bags and drove out to a quaint bed and breakfast nestled among rolling hills and lush forests. The fresh air and scenic beauty were a balm to my soul. As we hiked through the woods and explored the small town nearby, I felt a sense of peace I hadn't experienced in a long time. Anna's presence was calming, her laughter infectious. We spent our days wandering and our evenings by the fireplace, talking about everything and nothing. One afternoon, as we sat by a tranquil lake, Anna turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "Jack, what are your dreams for the future?" The question took me by surprise. I hadn't allowed myself to think about the future in concrete terms for a while. "Honestly, Anna, I'm still figuring that out. But I know I want to keep creating and keep exploring new possibilities, and I'd like you to be a part of that." She smiled, her eyes reflecting the sunlight off the water. "I'd like that too. I think we make a great team." We sat in companionable silence, watching the ducks glide across the lake. The future felt less daunting with Anna by my side. When we returned to the city, I threw myself back into work with a renewed sense of energy. I started exploring new projects, seeking out opportunities that excited me. Anna and I continued to work together, taking on freelance projects and enjoying the creative process. One evening, as we were having dinner at my place, my phone buzzed with a call from Rachel. I hadn't heard from her since she moved out of state, and seeing her name on the screen gave me a jolt. I glanced at Anna, who gave me an encouraging nod. "Hello?" I answered, stepping out onto the balcony for some privacy. "Jack, hi, it's Rachel," she said, her voice sounding both familiar and distant. "I hope I'm not disturbing you." "No, it's fine. How are you?" I asked, genuinely curious about her well-being. "I'm doing well. The new job is challenging, but I'm settling in. I wanted to call to see how you're doing. It's been a while." "I'm doing well too, Rachel. Thanks for asking," I replied, feeling a sense of closure as we exchanged pleasantries. "I've been working on new projects and, well, I've met someone." "That's great, Jack. I'm happy for you," she said, sounding sincere. "I know things ended badly between us, but I'm glad you're moving forward." "Thanks, Rachel. I hope you're finding happiness too," I said, meaning every word. After we hung up, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. Rachel and I had both moved on, and it was time to fully embrace the present. I returned to the dinner table, feeling lighter. Anna looked at me with a questioning gaze. "Everything okay?" "Yeah," I said, smiling. "Everything's fine. Just tying up some loose ends." Anna reached across the table and took my hand. "I'm glad to hear that, Jack. You deserve all the happiness in the world." As the months went by, Anna and I grew closer, our relationship deepening with each passing day. We continued to work on creative projects together, our professional and personal lives intertwined in a way that felt right. One sunny afternoon, we decided to visit a nearby art festival. Strolling through the vibrant displays, we marveled at the creativity on show. As we admired a particularly striking piece, Anna turned to me with a mischievous grin. "You know, Jack, we should think about our next big project. Maybe something bigger than just a book." I raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "What do you have in mind?" She laughed. "Oh, I don't know. Maybe an exhibit or even a series of workshops. The possibilities are endless." Her excitement was contagious, and I felt my own enthusiasm bubbling up. "I like the way you think, Anna. Let's do it." As we walked hand in hand through the festival, I realized how far I had come. The pain of the past was now a distant memory, replaced by the joy of the present and the promise of the future. Anna had helped me find my way back to myself, and together, we were ready to take on whatever came next. Life, I had learned, was a journey of the heart, and with Anna by my side, I knew it was a journey worth taking. As the weeks turned into months, Anna and his bond grew stronger. We embraced the idea of working on a larger project together. After much discussion, we decided to host a series of photography and design workshops, blending our skills and passions to inspire others. It was an ambitious plan, but the excitement of it all fueled us. We secured a venue, started marketing our workshops, and reached out to our networks to spread the word. The response was overwhelmingly positive, and soon we were fully booked for our first few sessions. The support and enthusiasm from friends and colleagues were encouraging, and we dove into planning with vigor. One evening, as we sat on Anna's couch surrounded by papers and laptops, she looked at me with a thoughtful expression. "Jack, I've been thinking about something." "What is it?" I asked, curious. "Do you ever think about moving in together?" she asked, her voice cautious but hopeful. The question caught me off guard, but in a good way. We'd spent so much time together that it already felt like we were practically living together. The idea of officially sharing a space felt natural and exciting. "I've thought about it," I admitted, smiling. "And I think it's a great idea. I love spending time with you, and I can't imagine my life without you in it." Anna's face lit up. "Really? That makes me so happy, Jack. Let's do it." Over the next few weeks, we began the process of combining our lives. It was a whirlwind of packing, organizing, and adjusting. But through it all, our excitement never waned. Moving in together felt like the next logical step in our journey, and it brought us even closer. Our first workshop was a resounding success. Participants praised our chemistry and the way we seamlessly integrated photography and design concepts. It was fulfilling to see our vision come to life and to witness the impact it had on others. The feedback was overwhelmingly positive, and we knew we were on the right path. One evening, after a particularly rewarding workshop, Anna and I sat on our balcony, enjoying a quiet moment under the stars. The city lights twinkled below, and the air was filled with the sounds of summer. "Jack, I can't believe how far we've come," Anna said, her voice filled with wonder. "From that first conversation about your photos to this, it feels like a dream." "It does," I agreed, taking her hand in mine. "And I'm so grateful for every moment. You've brought so much joy into my life, Anna." She smiled, her eyes reflecting the starlight. "And you've done the same for me, Jack. I couldn't have asked for a better partner, in life and in work." As we sat there, enjoying the peace and tranquility, I realized how much I had changed over the past year. The pain and betrayal I had experienced with Rachel seemed like a distant memory. I had found happiness and a sense of purpose again, thanks to Anna. One day, while working on a new project, I received an unexpected email. It was from Rachel. Curious, I opened it and read her message. "Hi, Jack. I hope you're doing well. I wanted to let you know that I've been following your work, and I'm genuinely happy to see you thriving. It looks like you found your passion and someone who makes you happy. I'm truly sorry for the pain I caused, but I'm glad to see you found happiness again. Best, Rachel." I stared at the screen, processing her words. It was a kind and sincere message, and it gave me a sense of closure I hadn't realized I needed. I replied, thanking her for her kind words and wishing her well in her journey. Later that evening, I shared the email with Anna. She listened thoughtfully, then took my hand. "I'm glad you got that closure, Jack. You deserve it." "Thank you," I said, feeling a sense of peace. "I'm ready to fully embrace the future now, with you." Our workshops continued to flourish, and we decided to expand our offerings, including online classes to reach a wider audience. The success of our endeavors was a testament to our hard work and the strong bond we shared. One evening, as we celebrated the launch of our new online platform, Anna and I found ourselves reflecting on our journey once again. "Jack, do you ever wonder what's next for us?" Anna asked, her eyes filled with curiosity and excitement. "Every day," I replied with a smile. "And I'm excited to find out. As long as we're together, I know we can handle anything." Anna leaned in, kissing me softly. "Here's to our future, Jack. Whatever it holds, I'm glad we're facing it together." As we toasted to our future, I felt a sense of contentment and anticipation. Life had brought us together in the most unexpected way, and I was grateful for every twist and turn that had led to this moment. The journey of the heart was unpredictable, but with Anna by my side, I was ready for whatever came next. The next few months were a whirlwind of activity, as Anna and I dove deeper into our workshops and online classes. Our professional lives were thriving, and our relationships continued to blossom. We were both busy, but it was a fulfilling kind of busy, where every day brought new challenges and achievements. One day, as we were preparing for an upcoming workshop, Anna received a call that changed everything. She hung up the phone, her face pale and her hands trembling. "Anna, what's wrong?" I asked, concerned. "It's my mom," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "She's had a stroke. I need to go home." Anna's family lived several states away, and the urgency in her voice made it clear she needed to leave immediately. "Of course, I'll come with you," I said without hesitation. We packed quickly and were on a flight within hours. The journey was tense, and I could see the worry etched on Anna's face. I held her hand, offering silent support. When we arrived at the hospital, the news was both a relief and a new challenge. Anna's mother had survived the stroke but would need extensive rehabilitation. The doctors were optimistic, but the road to recovery would be long and demanding. Over the next few weeks, our lives were turned upside down. Anna decided to stay with her mother to help with her recovery, and I stayed with her, supporting her as best as I could. We tried to manage our work remotely, but it was difficult. The strain of the situation began to take its toll on both of us. One evening, after a particularly exhausting day, Anna and I sat on the porch of her childhood home. The weight of everything we were dealing with hung heavily in the air. "Jack, I don't know how much longer I can do this," Anna admitted, tears streaming down her face. "I feel like I'm failing at everything. My work, my family, us." I pulled her into my arms, holding her tightly. "You're not failing, Anna. You're doing the best you can in an incredibly difficult situation. We'll get through this together." "But our work, our workshops, we can't keep up with everything," she said, her voice breaking. "I know it's hard," I said softly, "but we need to prioritize right now. Your family needs you. Our work can wait. We'll find a way to make it work." Anna nodded, wiping her tears. "You're right. We'll figure it out. Thank you for being here, Jack. I don't know what I'd do without you." We made the difficult decision to pause our workshops and focus on what mattered most, Anna's family. It wasn't an easy choice, but it was the right one. We informed our participants and supporters, explaining the situation and promising to return when things were more stable. As the weeks turned into months, Anna's mother slowly improved. The rehabilitation process was grueling, but Anna's dedication and love were unwavering. I admired her strength and resilience, even as we faced our own struggles. During this time, we grew closer in ways we hadn't anticipated. The challenges we faced brought out the best in us, revealing new depths of our relationship. We learned to communicate more openly, support each other unconditionally, and find moments of joy amid the chaos. One evening, as we sat in the backyard watching the stars, Anna turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "Jack, I've been thinking a lot about the future." "What's on your mind?" I asked, curious. "I know we've been through a lot, and there are still challenges ahead, but I'm certain of one thing. I want to build a life with you, wherever that takes us." Her words filled me with warmth and hope. "I feel the same way, Anna. We've faced so much together, and I know we can handle anything. I want to build a future with you too." As the months passed, Anna's mother continued to improve, and we began to see a light at the end of the tunnel. We gradually resumed our work, finding a new rhythm that balanced our professional and personal lives. It wasn't always easy, but it was worth it. One day, as we were setting up for our first workshop since our hiatus, Anna looked at me with a smile. "We did it, Jack. We made it through the storm." "We did," I agreed, feeling a sense of pride and gratitude. "And we're stronger for it." Our workshop that day was a testament to our journey, a celebration of resilience, love, and the power of partnership. As we stood before our participants, sharing our knowledge and experiences, I realized how far we had come. The challenges we faced brought us closer and made us appreciate the beauty of life's unpredictable journey. After the workshop, as we packed up our equipment, Anna took my hand. "Jack, there's something I want to ask you." I looked at her, intrigued. "What is it? Will you marry me?" she asked, her eyes shining with love and determination. The question took my breath away. In that moment, I saw our entire future together, filled with challenges, triumphs, and endless love. Yes, Anna, 1,000 times yes. As we embraced, surrounded by the remnants of our workshop, I knew we were ready for whatever came next. Together, we had faced the darkest of times and emerged stronger, more united, and deeply in love. The journey of the heart was far from over, but with Anna by my side, I was ready for every twist and turn. The moment Anna proposed felt surreal. Her words echoed in my mind, filling me with a profound sense of joy and anticipation. We spent the next few days in a blissful haze, celebrating our engagement with friends and family. The future seemed brighter than ever, and we were eager to start planning our wedding. We decided on a small, intimate ceremony, wanting to keep the focus on our love and the journey we had shared. Our work, our struggles, and our triumphs had brought us to this point, and we wanted our wedding to reflect that. As we began planning, we quickly realized how much there was to do. Between our workshops, Anna's mother's ongoing recovery, and our regular work, finding time to plan a wedding seemed daunting. But we approached it with the same teamwork and determination that had carried us through so much already. One evening, as we sat at our kitchen table surrounded by wedding magazines and lists, Anna looked at me with a playful smile. "Jack, what's your dream wedding like?" I laughed, thinking back to a conversation we had months ago. "Honestly, Anna, as long as you're there, it's perfect. But if I had to choose, I'd say something outdoors, maybe in a garden or by the beach, somewhere peaceful and beautiful." Anna's eyes lit up. "That sounds perfect. I've always loved the idea of a beach wedding. Simple, elegant, and surrounded by nature." We agreed to start looking for venues that fit our vision. After a few weeks of searching, we found the perfect spot, a charming beachside location with a garden for the ceremony and a cozy indoor area for the reception. It felt like a dream come true. As we delved deeper into the planning, we decided to incorporate elements from our journey together. We chose photos from our Journeys of the Heart project to decorate the reception area, each image representing a significant moment in our relationship. We also decided to write our own vows, wanting to express our love and commitment in our own words. One afternoon, as we were finalizing details, I received a call from an old friend, Mark. We hadn't spoken in years, but hearing his voice brought back a flood of memories. Mark had been my best man at my first wedding, and his friendship had been a constant source of support during that difficult time. "Jack, it's been too long," Mark said warmly. "I heard the news about you and Anna. Congratulations, man. I'm really happy for you." "Thanks, Mark. It means a lot," I replied, feeling a rush of gratitude. "Actually, I was hoping you could be my best man again. It would mean the world to me." There was a brief pause before Mark spoke again, his voice filled with emotion. "I'd be honored, Jack. I wouldn't miss it for the world." With Mark on board, the wedding plans started to come together more smoothly. Anna's best friend Lisa agreed to be her maid of honor, and our small but close-knit group of friends eagerly offered their help and support. One evening, as Anna and I sat on the beach watching the sunset, she turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "Jack, there's something I've been meaning to ask you." "What is it?" I asked, curious. "Do you ever worry about the future? About what might happen if things get tough again?" Her question was honest, and I appreciated her vulnerability. I took her hand, looking into her eyes. "Anna, I'd be lying if I said I never worry, but I know we can handle anything that comes our way. We've faced so much already, and we've come out stronger each time. I believe in us." She smiled, her eyes filled with love. "I believe in us too, Jack, and I'm so grateful to have you by my side." As the weeks flew by, the day of our wedding approached. We were filled with excitement and a few nerves, but the overwhelming feeling was one of joy. Our families and friends gathered, the beachside venue looked stunning, and everything was ready. On the morning of our wedding, I stood by the water, feeling the cool breeze on my face. Mark joined me, giving me a reassuring pat on the back. "You ready for this, Jack?" I smiled, feeling a sense of calm wash over me. "More than ready, Mark. This is the start of something beautiful." As the ceremony began, and I saw Anna walking down the aisle, my heart swelled with love and gratitude. She looked radiant, her eyes shining with happiness. When she reached me, we held hands, feeling the weight of the moment and the journey that had brought us here. We exchanged our vows, each word filled with love and commitment. There wasn't a dry eye in the audience as we promised to stand by each other, to face life's challenges together, and to cherish every moment. After the ceremony, we celebrated with our loved ones, dancing under the stars and savoring the joy of the day. It was a night filled with laughter, love, and the promise of a beautiful future. As the evening drew to a close, Anna and I took a moment to ourselves, standing by the water and looking at the stars. "Jack, today was perfect," she said softly. "I can't wait to see what the future holds for us." I pulled her close, feeling a profound sense of happiness. "Me too, Anna. Whatever comes our way, I know we can handle it. Together." And as we stood there embracing the present and looking forward to the future, I knew that our journey of the heart was just beginning. With Anna by my side, I was ready for every adventure, every challenge, and every moment of joy that lay ahead. After our wedding, Anna and I returned to our everyday lives with a renewed sense of purpose and joy. The experience had brought us closer than ever, and we were eager to embark on the next chapter of our journey together. We resumed our workshops and online classes with a fresh perspective, pouring our hearts into every project. One afternoon, while sorting through some old photographs, Anna found a picture of us from our first collaboration. We were both laughing, caught in a candid moment of pure joy. "Look at us," she said, holding up the photo. "We've come so far." I smiled, reminiscing. "We really have, and it's just the beginning." Inspired by the photo, we decided to start a new project together, one that would document our journey from the start. We envisioned a book that would combine our personal stories with our professional growth, using our photos and design work to tell a compelling narrative. We called it New Beginnings. As we worked on the book, we found ourselves reflecting on the twists and turns that had brought us to this point. Each chapter was filled with memories, both joyful and painful, but all of them were part of our story. We included everything: the early days of our partnership, the challenges we faced, the moments of triumph, and the quiet, everyday moments that defined our relationship. One evening, while we were working on the book, Anna looked up from her laptop with a thoughtful expression. "Jack, do you ever think about starting a family?" The question took me by surprise, but in a good way. I had thought about it, but we had been so focused on our work and each other that we hadn't really discussed it. "I do," I said, feeling a mix of excitement and nerves. "Do you?" Anna nodded, her eyes shining with a mix of emotions. "I do. I think we'd make great parents, and I want to share that experience with you." Her words filled me with a sense of anticipation. "I want that too, Anna. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready." We decided to let things happen naturally, without putting too much pressure on ourselves. It was a big step, but one we were both excited about. In the meantime, we continued to focus on our book and our work, finding a new rhythm in our lives. One sunny afternoon, we took a break from our work and went for a walk in the park. As we strolled hand in hand, Anna suddenly stopped and turned to me. "Jack, I have something to tell you." The serious tone in her voice made my heart skip a beat. "What is it, Anna?" She took a deep breath, her eyes filled with emotion. "I'm pregnant." For a moment, time stood still. Then a wave of joy washed over me. "Anna, that's incredible. I'm so happy." We hugged, laughing and crying at the same time. It was a moment of pure, unfiltered happiness. The idea of becoming parents felt overwhelming and wonderful all at once. As the months passed, we prepared for the arrival of our baby with the same dedication and love that we put into everything we did. We set up a nursery, attended prenatal classes, and read every book we could find on parenting. Our friends and family were incredibly supportive, offering advice and helping us get ready for this new chapter. The release of our book, New Beginnings, coincided with Anna's due date. It was a labor of love in more ways than one, and the response was overwhelmingly positive. People connected with our story, and it felt amazing to share our journey with the world. One late night, as we were putting the finishing touches on the nursery, Anna went into labor. The next few hours were a blur of excitement, nerves, and anticipation. Finally, our baby girl Lily was born. Holding Lily for the first time was a moment I would never forget. She was perfect, and the love I felt for her was immediate and all-consuming. Anna looked at me, her eyes filled with tears of joy. "We did it, Jack." "We did," I agreed, my heart overflowing with love and gratitude. "Welcome to the world, Lily." Our lives changed in ways we couldn't have imagined. The sleepless nights, the endless feedings, and the constant worry were balanced by the overwhelming love and joy Lily brought into our lives. She was a constant reminder of the beauty and unpredictability of life. As we navigated the challenges of parenthood, our bond grew even stronger. We learned to rely on each other in new ways, finding strength and comfort in our partnership. Our work continued, though it took on new shapes and priorities with Lily in our lives. One evening, as we sat on the couch with Lily sleeping in her crib, Anna looked at me with a contented smile. "Jack, do you ever think about how far we've come?" "Every day," I said, taking her hand, "and I wouldn't change a thing. This is exactly where I want to be." Anna nodded, her eyes shining with love. "Me too. Here's to new beginnings, Jack, and to every adventure that lies ahead." As we sat there, embracing the present and looking forward to the future, I knew that our journey of the heart was far from over. With Anna and Lily by my side, I was ready for every twist and turn that life had in store for us. Together, we would face whatever came our way, knowing that the love we shared was the foundation of everything we did. The first few months with Lily were a whirlwind. Every day brought new challenges and joys, and Anna and I found ourselves adapting to our new roles as parents. The sleepless nights were tough, but Lily's smiles and laughter made everything worth it. As we settled into our new routine, we realized that finding a balance between work, parenthood, and our relationship was crucial. Our workshops and online classes had become a significant part of our lives, and we didn't want to let go of them entirely. At the same time, we knew that Lily needed our attention and love. One morning, as we were having breakfast, Anna looked thoughtful. "Jack, I've been thinking about how we can manage everything. I don't want to give up our work, but I also don't want to miss out on Lily's early years." I nodded, understanding her dilemma. "I feel the same way. Maybe we can scale back our workshops for a while and focus more on our online classes. That way, we can work from home and spend more time with Lily." Anna smiled, relief evident on her face. "That sounds like a great idea. We can also hire someone to help with the logistics and marketing. It will take some pressure off us." We implemented our plan, and it worked out better than we had hoped. Scaling back our in-person workshops allowed us to dedicate more time to our family while still pursuing our passion. Hiring an assistant for logistics and marketing was a game changer, freeing up our time and reducing stress. As the months passed, we found a new rhythm. Our days were filled with laughter, learning, and love. Lily grew quickly, her personality shining through more and more each day. She was curious, adventurous, and always ready to explore the world around her. One sunny afternoon, as we played with Lily in the park, Anna turned to me with a smile. "Jack, I've been thinking about our next project. What if we created a new series of workshops focused on family photography and design? We could help parents capture and preserve their family moments." The idea excited me. "That's brilliant, Anna. We've learned so much about balancing work and family, and it would be amazing to share that with others." We began planning our new series of workshops, called Family Moments. We designed the curriculum to be accessible and engaging, with a focus on practical tips and creative techniques for capturing family memories. The response was overwhelmingly positive, and we were thrilled to see parents embracing the opportunity to learn and grow together. As our workshops gained momentum, we decided to host a special event, a weekend retreat for families. We found a beautiful location by a lake, perfect for outdoor activities and relaxation. The retreat was a chance for families to connect, learn, and create lasting memories together. The weekend of the retreat arrived, and we welcomed families from all walks of life. The atmosphere was filled with excitement and anticipation. We led workshops on photography, design, and storytelling, while also organizing fun activities like nature walks, campfires, and family games. One evening, as we sat around the campfire, I looked at Anna and felt a deep sense of gratitude. "This is incredible, Anna. Seeing all these families come together and create memories, it's exactly what we envisioned." Anna smiled, her eyes reflecting the glow of the fire. "It really is, Jack. And it's all because of our journey. Every challenge, every joy, it's brought us here." The retreat was a resounding success, and we received heartfelt feedback from the families who attended. Many expressed how much they appreciated the chance to reconnect and learn new ways to capture their family's story. After the retreat, as we settled back into our daily routine, we continued to find joy in the simple moments. Watching Lily take her first steps, hearing her first words, and witnessing her growing curiosity about the world filled our hearts with pride and love. One evening, as we put Lily to bed, Anna and I sat together on the couch, enjoying a rare moment of quiet. "Jack, I've been thinking a lot about the future," Anna said softly. I looked at her, intrigued. "What's on your mind?" "I want to keep building on what we've started. Our family, our work, it's all intertwined. And I want to make sure we're always there for Lily, no matter what." I nodded, understanding her sentiment. "I feel the same way. Our family comes first, always, and we can keep finding ways to balance everything, just like we have been." Anna leaned in, resting her head on my shoulder. "Thank you, Jack, for everything. I couldn't have asked for a better partner." I kissed her forehead, feeling a deep sense of contentment. "I feel the same way, Anna. Here's to our family and to all the new beginnings we'll share." As we sat there embracing the present and looking forward to the future, I knew that our journey of the heart was a continuous adventure. With Anna and Lily by my side, I was ready for every twist and turn that life had in store for us. Together, we would navigate the complexities of parenthood, work, and love, always finding balance and joy in the journey. Life, with all its unpredictability, has a way of testing the strongest of bonds. Our family was in a good place. Lily was growing up happy and healthy, our workshops were thriving, and Anna and I had found a balance between work and parenthood that worked for us. But, as with any journey, there were challenges we couldn't foresee. One evening, after putting Lily to bed, Anna and I were enjoying a quiet moment on the porch when her phone rang. She glanced at the screen and frowned. "It's the lab," she said, answering the call. As she spoke, her expression shifted from confusion to concern. When she hung up, she looked at me, her face pale. "Jack, there's been a breach at the lab. They need me to come in immediately." The lab had always been a significant part of Anna's life. It was where we first met, and where she continued to work part-time on important projects. I nodded, understanding the urgency. "Go, Anna. I'll take care of things here." She kissed me quickly and rushed out the door. I watched her leave, a knot of worry forming in my stomach. The hours passed slowly. I busied myself with tidying up the house and checking on Lily, but my thoughts kept drifting back to Anna. It was well past midnight when she finally returned, looking exhausted. "What happened?" I asked, taking her coat and leading her to the couch. Anna sighed, rubbing her temples. "There was a security breach. Some of our research data was compromised. It's a serious situation, and we're not sure how much was taken or who's responsible." I felt a wave of concern wash over me. "Is there anything I can do to help?" She shook her head. "Not right now. We have a team working on it, but it's going to take time to sort everything out." The following weeks were tense. Anna spent long hours at the lab, trying to contain the breach and secure their data. The stress took its toll on both of us. I did my best to support her, taking care of Lily and managing our workshops, but the strain was evident. One evening, after a particularly grueling day, Anna came home and collapsed onto the couch. "I'm sorry, Jack," she said, her voice weary. "I feel like I'm failing everyone. Lily, you, the lab." I sat beside her, taking her hand. "Anna, you're doing everything you can. This isn't your fault. We'll get through this together." She nodded, tears filling her eyes. "I just want things to go back to normal." As the weeks turned into months, the situation at the lab gradually improved. The security breach was contained, and steps were taken to prevent future incidents. Anna's workload began to lighten, and we started to find our rhythm again. One weekend, we decided to take a break and go on a family trip to the mountains. It was a chance to reconnect and unwind. We rented a cozy cabin, surrounded by nature's beauty, and spent our days hiking, exploring, and simply enjoying each other's company. On the last night of our trip, as we sat by the fireplace, Anna turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "Jack, I've been thinking a lot about the future, about what's truly important." I looked at her, curious. "What do you mean?" "The lab, our workshops, Everything we've built, it's all important, but nothing matters more than our family. I don't want to lose sight of that again." Her words resonated deeply with me. I feel the same way, Anna. Our family comes first, always. We made a pact that night to prioritize our family, to make time for each other, and to never let work overshadow the moments that truly mattered. It was a promise to ourselves and to Lily, a commitment to balance and love. As we returned home, we carried that promise with us. Life resumed its normal pace, but with a renewed focus on what was truly important. We continued to grow our business and pursue our passions, but we always made sure to carve out time for family. One sunny afternoon, as we played with Lily in the backyard, Anna looked at me with a smile. "I have an idea for our next project," she said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "What is it?" I asked, intrigued. "Let's create a series of family adventure guides. We can share our experiences, tips for traveling with kids, and ideas for family activities. It's something we're passionate about, and it can help other families find balance and joy in their journeys." I loved the idea.